Yo, wholeness instead of peace, because I realize peace is like a piece of something, and I am whole, I am complete. So tranquility, I like that. Yeah, so I'm in New York, I'm in Brooklyn currently, and I had a meet and greet yesterday, and I learned so much about myself, about showbiz when it comes to just like setting up events, and I did it spontaneously. It still happened. At the same time, oh my gosh, is that my ring? Oh, that's not my ring. Okay, never mind. At the same time, it just taught me a lot of valuable lessons as far as like vibration and energy and frequency and resonance, and I had to really receive the realization that I am not meant to vibrate and resonate with everybody. And just because we don't resonate, like, that's okay. It's okay to not be in a vibrational resonance with people that you want to be in the vibrational resonance with, because energy is truth. So people can say one thing, right? But their energy says all of it. And for me, I am very grateful that I've kept as pure as I can, a pure heart. And that doesn't mean that I haven't messed up. That doesn't mean that I haven't like made mistakes. In fact, I have. Like, if you are on your path with a pure heart, you're actually bound to make mistakes, because a part of your path is to learn from those things. What people might consider a failure is really that stepping block that you're going to use to elevate and to continue to ascend and rise to the occasion. And so yesterday, it was very interesting to me because, first of all, like, I came to New York with a suitcase and a dream. Didn't have much money at the time, right? And I'm speaking in past tense because I already know that vibrationally my situation is already different. So I'm not only speaking to I'm speaking to myself in multiple dimensions, and I'm already wealthy. I am abundant because it's inside of me, and I see that what I have cannot be recreated or yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Like, I am that I am. So I realized that, like, I came here, with a vision, or an intention, I should say. I was like, okay, I want to come here to meet some friends. And then I was like, let me turn into a meet and greet. And then that meet and greet, I just started to have all these ideas. Like, well, I need to get t-shirts, and I need to, like, get posters to sign. And I'm like, well, there's talented people here in New York, so let me see if my friend's friend wants to perform, and then his friend wanted to perform, or said that they wanted to share the time, and all this stuff. And I asked my friend Bam Skelly, like, that's my bro, I asked him to perform. He came through, and then it just, I'm like, oh wait, but then I need tickets, I gotta sell tickets. And then even though I told the artist, like, at first it wasn't about pay, I would just say, like, you can come and perform and we can just have a good time. But then I was like, I want to pay them for their time. And again, I didn't really have the money like that, but I still gave what I had. And then something happened where they told me the day before that we didn't have a sound system or an audio person. And at that point, I'm like, well, that's just what I get, because they're allowing me to use this space for free, and I'm grateful for that, honestly. At the same time, I wish we would have communicated beforehand that there wasn't a sound system, because now we're looking at a $400 thing to do. Like, they're sending me links. It's like, hey, this is $400 for the sound person, and I'm like, what? I don't even know if that's even a thing. And I've done shows at different places where one time they didn't have a sound system, like the mic person didn't show up, so I did it a cappella. I mean, like without a mic, but I did it with the music in the background, and I was able to walk around the venue. It was packed. The restaurant was packed. They literally, like, people didn't have seats, right? They couldn't even sit down. And they were waiting for 2 hours for me to perform because we were waiting on the sound guy. And I'm like, well, the show must go on. That's what I'm a theater kid, right? So, anybody else? I learned that. So I just kept going. I just was like, all right, I'm going to go and do it. And I did my thing. And it was great. It was one of the best performances I've had since, like, up until this point. So now, when it comes to working with other artists, especially with people who care like a lot about their image, and it's okay to care about your image, and it's good to actually want things to be professional. So like, I admire that, and I also am like that. At the same time, there is a threshold where one needs to be flexible, and I'm learning to be more fluid, more flexible, and also organized, balancing my feminine and my masculine energy. And a lot of times people around you, well, I'll just speak for myself, like people around me expect me to be a certain way. Like even if they don't always voice it, I can tell, like, because I have a big platform and because I'm this big energy, they assume, which now they're making an ass out of you and me, right? They assume as if I have everything figured out. Maybe I come off that way because, again, big energy here. But I never said that I had it all figured out, right? So now people are putting expectations on that assumption. And so then when things don't turn out the way that they wanted them to or expected them to in their mind, now it's weird, right? Now it's weird. So anyway, I just came here because I wanted to genuinely connect with people, have fun, and express myself, because 2 weeks ago I was almost not alive. Like, and the one thing that reminded me that of my joy and of happiness in this lifetime is music, being music. And I was doing all this other stuff, showing up for everybody else except for myself, and that's codependency. So now, moving away from codependency and into this safe habitat of self, of what that means to be safe within myself and by myself, right? In doing things for myself. And people who are so used to you showing up in a certain energy, either like kissing their butt or on your knees for them and bending over backwards for them, they're going to feel some type of way when you start to withdraw your energy, because you need that energy for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is here to find out and remember and tap into that tranquility within themselves. Like, a lot of people sometimes like feel some type of way when I'm not showing up a certain way because they expect me to be happy or always be in good vibes. And it's like, I'm human, and I'll be the first to show that. Like, okay, if I need to cry, I'm gonna cry, and if I'm upset, I'm gonna show that. Like, I'm done suppressing myself and always feeling like I need to be this happy, joyful person when I am a human being. I'm the rainbow. I'm the whole color spectrum. I am the spectrum. Do you know what I'm saying? Every spectrum. Somebody said, do you have Asperger's? Probably. Doesn't everybody have something? But even going deeper within that, it's like the biggest part of me being human, and the part of that I respect so much about my personal journey, is that I don't mind looking bad in front of people, because I know I'm gonna look good in front of those same people. And it's not about that. It's not about like, oh, everybody look at me and blah blah blah. Because if I'm not that proud to show failure or to show discontent or frustration or while I'm figuring it out. Like, that's the thing about society and social media too. People want others to show that they have it all together. And I've put my journey online for the past 7 years on different platforms. And the one thing that I can say about myself is that I show up and I'm present and I'm authentic. Now, being authentic doesn't always mean that you're right, though. I have been wrong so many times. I have allowed my shadows to resurface in present moments where I'm not that kind or mindful. Sometimes I don't see. Sometimes I'm not that aware of how my energy is affecting people. But also, it's up to them to have their own boundaries, right? Because when we start taking accountability for how other people feel, then you're crossing your own boundary. Where are your boundaries? Where is the line? Even again, going back to codependency, like, where is the line drawn between your emotions and your intentions and your actions and everyone else's? Because I am only responsible for this being right here when it comes to how I show up, how I intend things to be. And even with pure intentions, again, things might not go as smoothly. And I'm realizing how naive I've been in the world because I was so sheltered. This sheltered human that's told to, like, don't trust the world and everybody's bad and you can't have any friends because friendship isn't real, and all these stipulations socially that were put on me, right? And to only stay in this bubble where I'm only with my family or with my parents, and that's the trustworthy bubble. But at the end of the day, like, I have to go experience the real world. It reminds me of Buddha. Like, Buddha, his parents literally were like sheltering him. It was like, oh, well, you can't go out in the street. He didn't even know about the world, right? And then he goes out. He's like, well, I'm about to go out there. And you know what his dad did? He called the orders to everybody to, like, be on their best behavior, basically. Buddha didn't grow up seeing sickly people, elderly people, right? People with disabilities. He was just in this, like, bubble that his parents kept him in. And then finally, when he goes out to on the streets, he sees suffering. He sees people who need help, and he starts on his ascendant master journey of, and there's many Buddhas, just like there's many Christs, but this specific one, right, that we're talking about, they, went into meditation and created this movement, right? And so when I think about my own life and how sheltered I was and from the outside world, and now I'm thrown into it, like, I'm literally in the deep end with the sharks, and I show up to New York and people looking at me all some type of way like I'm crazy because I showed up with a dream and hope and faith. And a lot of people in this world don't work like that, and I have to learn how to take lessons from what they've shown me with the practicality of things. Like, okay, well, you need to have resources to run a show, even to the smallest degree of a meet and greet of an event. And I love the lessons that I'm learning right now, and I'm seeing that, like, my energy, like, I actually am important, and I impact people just like you are important and you impact people. So if I come in with good energy, or with authentic energy, I should say, and also being organized and doing my best, then I know there's success there. At the same time, everybody's not meant to be there at your lowest point, because they're not also meant to be there at your highest point. The people that stick through and follow through and see you for who you are and know who you are as far as where you are going or who you're destined to be, and they are authentic with themselves, if they're meant to go with you on that journey, then so be it. But a lot of times people are just there for a season, and you got to be okay with letting that go as well. And it's like, when people might perceive something to be a failure, but to me, it's that next step on that ladder. Like, I'm gonna keep going. Like, yeah, I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna coast, I'm gonna be a yacht. Like, one of my friends had told me, just be a yacht, get off the elevator, be on the yacht. And I like that. And right now I'm just reflecting. I'm being more introspective. I'm being more intentional with my time, with my energy, because I'm seeing that everybody deserves my energy, especially when they think it's supposed to be a certain way, and then I show up and it's not that way, and now they're disappointed, and now they're projecting their anger and their whatever onto me, and it's like, I don't receive that. I'm here to be me, all of me, which includes the downs, the lows, the ups, the highs. And it's okay to not resonate with everybody. Like yesterday during the meet and greet, there were like a few people that were really tapped into what I was saying. Not just like hearing the lyrics, but you could feel that the frequency was going through their body, and we were connected, right? And then there was another clump of people that were there for the other artists that, while I was performing, they're just, taking pictures with each other and talking and laughing, like right there. And I could have been like, yo, like, I respected y'all when y'all performed. I didn't say anything. I was there, I was present, I was filming, I was clapping. But then when I perform, everybody dispersing, and I'm like, oh, it's the energy. It's the vibration. Not everybody is meant to resonate with your frequency. I used to be a people pleaser and thought that I needed to make everybody's day and to be everything for everybody. And now I see clearly that we can only resonate if we are on similar or the same vibration. And that doesn't mean that anybody is better or anybody is worse, because it's not a competition and it's not here and there. It's simply energy now. And the more that I become authentic with myself and be okay with saying I was wrong, or being okay with saying, oh, that didn't really work out, and be cool about it. Like, a lot of people are so caught up in their ego that they get embarrassed for falling through with something, or not reaching expectations of their own, or letting people down. I'm okay with messing up in front of people. Anybody who's seen me perform live, I mess up. Sometimes I don't even be speaking English. Light language just be coming through, and I be like, well, hey, I just keep going, because I'm at a point in time and place in my journey where I'm able to show up as myself. And if people do not resonate with that, get to stepping, because I'm not here to people please anymore. And I feel so good. And the same people that talk behind your back, the same people that make snarky comments and do whatever, let them do that, because they're the same people that are gonna see you where you are, and they're gonna come back around, maybe even if it's from afar, and say, well, oh, I want to work with her, or I want to talk to them, or oh, good job, or they're all up in your messages. Oh, I always knew you would. Okay. Yeah. And the cool thing is about being psychic, I don't have to be there while people talked about me to know that they did. I'm psychic. I'm claircognizant. I know. So with that being said, being psychic, that discernment helps me move a certain way. It helps me allot my frequency, my energy to certain things, right? And I'm really glad with where I am. And you just gotta remember, like, your tribe is out here. And if people aren't resonating, then that's what's meant to be. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to make something happen. And don't try to put something where it doesn't belong. Because there is a place where I belong, and it's here. And there is a place where you belong, and it's here. And if our here points are different, then that's okay. And I just encourage people to respect where people are, because we can look down on people or judge them for where they are. You're not where we are. You're not on our level. You don't have this. I learned that a lot of people are just out here because they chase clout and money. So when people don't have those things, and like, who are you now, right? So I've been without money. I've been without friends. I've been without people in my face and saying, congratulations, oh, you did so well. I've gone without praise, and that's cool, because I need to know and love and appreciate and accept myself with where I am. Because if I can perform in front of 3, 13, 30 people comfortably within myself, confidently, out of love, then what am I going to feel like in front of, I've already been in 3,000 people, but 30,000, when I'm in stadiums, I gotta have that same unmovable, unshakable self-knowing. And being in the realization and the awareness that whatever is outside of my control has nothing to do with me. I can only be centered within myself. And call it selfish, but like the foundation of any healthy connection with, or anything, job, whatever, is self-love. So that's what I am here on my journey to do. This is Jubilee in 5D. This is my podcast. I tried to do the whole mic and the lights and the cool couch and then I kept redoing episodes. I'm like, I'm trying too hard. And I'm like, I'm just going to be real. I got a phone and a tripod and I go wherever I go. And this is me. And Jubilee in 5D is a deeper authenticity of self. It's just me showing up as myself and not really thinking about too much about the other stuff. So thank you. If you like this video, actually like it. If you don't like it. I don't care. I'm still gonna be me. And leave a comment if this resonates. Send it to people. Subscribe if you want. Doesn't matter to me. Again, thank you. Thank you. Peace. Or wholeness and completeness and tranquility. Much love. Skin is such an interesting organ. Okay, bye. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Jubilee Jackson.